On. Right. It's gonna be a good one tonight, boys. It's gonna be a good one tonight, boys. It's gonna be a good one tonight, boys. Mm-hmm. You got proverb. Look, kind of were in here early. Shalom. God,
Yeah,
have to make it. We're gonna have to make the disclaimer a few times tonight. No, for real, no.
I think I want to start with one that I sent you last night. Let me see. Let me go back and see what I sent you. 'Cause I was.
Shalom. Hebrew warrior. Shalom. Shalom.
What did I? All right. Flag it. I'm gonna grab Sirach, chapter 21. This is hot. This is easy to understand, but it is hot. Sirach 21:17. It says, "They inquire at the mouth of the wise man in the congregation, and they shall ponder his words in their heart." So let me look up ponder. I should know what it means already.
This means to think.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure ain't nothing else on it. Ponder. Think about something carefully, especially before making a decision or reaching a conclusion. Old French ponderor, consider, from Latin, weigh or reflect on. So basically pondering is thinking about something on a certain level. But it says they inquire at the mouth of the wise man in the congregation, and they shall ponder his words in their heart. So you always hear me talk about Solomon, because I love Solomon. Solomon went hard. He was one of those wise men that was at the congregation, that sat in the congregation teaching, and men, women, children, families came from all over just to hear the wisdom that Solomon had. Even Queen Sheba came from far just to hear the wisdom of Solomon, to hear his proverbs, to hear his parables, to hear his deep and dark sayings, just so they can think about it, and meditate on it. They may write it down, they may come up there with a pen and a notepad and write down everything that he say, you know. Okay, this, that, and the third. The fool's heart. I mean, a fool's mouth is Slakia. A fool's heart is in his mouth, but a wise man's mouth is in his heart. They write that down and they kind of, well, damn, what is he talking about when he said that? Well, damn, what did he mean when he meant this? And then a couple days later, it may hit them, and they be like, dang, that's crazy. That makes sense. And then they kind of linking stuff up with this and then with that, and it's an amazing thing, and it's an amazing feeling whenever you find out a dark saying or a parable or a simple proverb, and it applies to your life. Mar, you have something?
Man, it's gonna be a good class tonight. Shalom to everybody in the chat that I have not saluted. We got Officer Tahom. Sister Talaya, Zion, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. So before we really kick off the class, we always started off by just going over some proverbs, a few wise sentences, and then we're gonna jump into it. So yeah, you mentioned Queen Sheba, and I want to briefly talk about her real quick. She heard about. I'm gonna just grab it because I'm already here. First Kings 10 and verse 7. It says, "Howbeit," this is what Queen Sheba is saying to King Solomon. "Howbeit, I believed not the words until I came, and my eyes have seen it, and behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceeded the fame which I heard." So when she heard about the fame of King Solomon, she what she heard and what she seen was different. She heard that King Solomon was great. He was noble, he was wise, he was the wisest man ever. But when she seen it with her own eyes, it was far more than what she really thought or what she heard. It exceeded her expectations. Um, but Aharon, you said something. It was like, man, he might be writing down the proverbs that he heard, and he might not get it. And then a week later, he meditating on it, sitting on it, and all of a sudden he like, oh, I get it. I understand it. And that's one of the best feelings on earth, to understand something. To understand something is something so beautiful. So it's sweet. It's like honey. Um, Man, it made me think of Sirach 17. You know how it talks about your senses? Everybody know you got taste, smell, sight, ears. What's the other one? It's another sense, touch.
Nigga said
Sorry,
ears.
hearing. You know what I'm saying, bro. Everybody should understand. God, bro, don't cut me. All right, chill. Relax, relax, relax. Uh, but basically, another one of our senses is to be able to understand and to speak. I tell you that in Sirach 17. That's a beautiful chapter. So this is the precept I wanted to pull. Proverbs 24 and 13. It says, "My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. So shall knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul when thou hast found it. Then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off." So wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He said reparations now. Jesus Christ. Is it the same God from last time about the reparations?
I don't think so, but I'm cool on that topic right now.
It's ladies' night. We just opened it up with a few precepts. But anyways, what I was saying, this is a beautiful precept to show you that wisdom, knowledge, understanding is sweet, and it's like honey. It's sweet to the taste. And whenever you really understand something or someone or the scriptures, it's a beautiful feeling. It's like eating something that's really, really tasteful. Because on a spiritual level, this is a meal. The Bible, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, is food, you know. And whenever someone says a wise sentence or they tell you something that has wisdom, it goes into your mind just like food goes into your belly. And just how your belly digests food, your mind digests words. And you kind of meditate on it, you kind of sit on it, and then you're like, that was a good sentence. That made sense. Or that food was good. But yeah, so you, King.
This is Proverbs 15, verse 7. It says, "The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so." So the lips of the wise, just like we grabbed in that Sirach, the lips of the wise are going to disperse knowledge throughout the congregation. They're going to disperse knowledge, like the law says. Like the law says, it goes back. It's going into the law, actually. "You shall talk about these things when thou wakest up, walkest by the way, and go to sleep." You're supposed to always be dispersing wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to your brothers, your sisters, your family members, anybody you come across. You want to be you want to be dispersing and increasing everybody else's knowledge. Just like Sirach 33 says. Let me grab that. Sirach 33 and 17 says, "Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning." And that's how you disperse that knowledge. That's how you disperse wisdom. You got to increase yourself. That way you can increase others. You have to increase in wisdom. That way you can increase your brother in wisdom. That's all I got, King.
I got one more. Luke chapter 4, verse 4. Luke chapter 4, verse 4 is a classic. Y'all ready? And then we're going to kick it off. Luke 4 and 4 says, "And Yahushua answered him, saying, It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God." Just showing you that these scriptures, we eat it up. This is a meal, a spiritual meal. There's so many things in the Bible that's referenced as food. Like you got milk, water, wine, honey, meat, bread, salt. All of these things represent spiritual things. But ladies' night, let's go. Oh, you got one more. Con. Go ahead.
Even that's in the law, Deuteronomy 8 and 3. "And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live." So kind of just want to grab a quick precept on that. Back on you.
Con. I got to add on that. It's not right if I don't. Just how a man lives off food, you can't live without eating. You can't live. And that's how it is with these scriptures. Everybody think that they live in their best life, hot girl summer, and all of the men want to be rappers, famous, drug dealer. They all really did. They not really living. Oh, the time when you really born again and you really change and you really come to life is when you start eating these scriptures, right? So, without further ado, all praises go to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Tonight is ladies' night. Disclaimer: if you have a husband, refer to your husband. He is your head. I'm gonna say it again. If you have a husband, refer to what your husband is teaching you. Don't listen to me or Aharon. God, we will say this many a times throughout tonight's live because we never want to make anything any stripes in a household. But for the other men who's listening and the other women who are listening, we're going to be going over general topics, things to prepare you for your marriage, red flags, things just to help you build up, tips. You could say that. Things that we've experienced within our marriages, things of that nature. And we'll talk about things that we would like to see um, from our sisters that's in this nation. Just we're going to get into it a little bit. We might just, where you want to kick it off?
We can start off with that disclaimer. Give me 1 Corinthians 13, and I'm gonna read this real quick. This is 1 Corinthians 14, verse 35. "And if they will learn anything," this is going into the women. "If they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church." So that's kind of why we made that disclaimer. We don't really want a woman going to her head and being like, "Well, Mahar and Aharon said this." That's a no. That's a no-go. You're supposed to refer to your husband as Christ, you're supposed to reverence him as Christ, not another man. What we say is not over what your head says.
Bingo.
Go ahead and grab me that 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 13 and
the order. Give me the order.
oh, I see. I got you. 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. It says, "But I would have you know that the head of the man is Christ, and the head of every woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
So that's the pecking order. That's just how things go. Everything has order in it. Last live we was talking about wolves and animals. Everything has order. Wolves have order. Lions have order. Animals have order. Nature itself has order. You have night and then day. You don't have night and day at the same time. You got spring, you got fall, you got this, you got everything works in complete harmony and in order. The sun doesn't come up and be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay up here for like a couple more hours just because I feel like it. That's not how it works. Everything has order. So why wouldn't us men and women have order? And that's the order that we have to go by. You don't listen, a woman who is married does not listen to another man, only her husband. Just like I said, we don't want the women to go to hear what we say today and be like, go to their heads and be like, well, Mahar and Aharon said this, so I can do this, that, and the third. If your husband doesn't want you to do that, and it's, through righteousness, he's not asking you to do anything wicked. If he wants you to do that, you do that. If he doesn't want you to do a certain thing, you don't do that. That's just out of order. That's just out of respect for your head. It's back on you, Ak, if you got something.
All right, quick point. Now, ultimately, you never want anyone to lead you away from the Most High God. So obviously, if he's telling you to go against God, then don't do that. That's the only thing I would say to add into that. And I'll throw a precept on it real quick. Sirach 4 and 22. It says, accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause you to fall. So you never want to let the reverence of any man cause you to fall. This is a good point to touch on. This is important. Allowing the Most High God to give you to the right man is important. Ultimately, y'all should be looking for a strong, righteous husband. But when you rush in things and trying to do things in haste and not using, not abiding by patience, is what's going to get you in a tough position. This is the position. This is the jam. This is what you don't want. You don't want to go out and rush and get a husband, and you find out that this man is not who he's pretending to be. You don't want to rush and get a husband, and this man ends up not being who he's pretending to be. You don't want that. A lot of times, right now in the world, in America, all hell breaking loose. The main things that's trending right now is black men who sell drugs, who raps, and that's basically what's trending. He's a basketball player or football player. You don't want to get a man in this thing and he's not really in the truth. He kind of only been in the truth for 8 months, but he looked real cute. He's real fair, and you end up laying with him, and now you have to obey him. When you label him, you're signing yourself up to listen to him. You're signing yourself up to follow him wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally placing yourself in subjection under this man in all things. He's literally the one who you have to answer to. He's literally the one he's the direct head, and he's the one who's supposed to help you get to the kingdom. You have to obey him like he's Jesus Christ.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead.
This is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. So kind, just like he said, you supposed that's your direct head. You want to have patience and you want to have wisdom when you're dealing with men. I know in the world, I believe they got it. It's called the damn 90-day rule or whatever. I don't know what the hell that's going into. It's called the damn 90-day rule before a girl give up. I'm gonna call them cookies. Before a girl give up the cookies, he gotta wait 90 days.
Right.
That's folly. That's madness. That's worldly wisdom. But in the truth, I don't see no wisdom beyond that 90 days. Because a man, 90 days is nothing. He'll wait 90 days. He'll sit there and chill. He'll hype your head up. He'll talk to you. He'll give you all this romantic stuff. And then on day 90, when it's ready to get them cookies, he gonna be the first. He gonna wake up with it on his mind. Yo, remember, 90 days. You trust me, blah blah blah. He get the cookies, and then you never hear from bro again. He out.
Hey, like Drake said, nothing was the same.
Yeah, right.
Nothing was the
Nothing
same
was the
after that.
same. You
Right.
know.
What you want to look for is a man who has a pattern of good works. That's major. A pattern of good works. That's going to tell you a lot about a man, his habits. Hey, I say this to all the IQM. First, you form your habits, and then your habits form you. First, you form your habits, then your habits form you. I got to do it one more time because 3 is spiritual. First, you form your habits, then your habits form you. And you want to make sure that this man has good habits. It's going to tell you a lot about him. Can he be devoted? Is he consistent? Is he fortified? You know, is he meek? Is he humble? Is he strong? Can he endurance? Is he the fold up type? Um, is he the angry type? Everyone already knows the red flags. When you see the red flags, hearken to the red flags, pay attention to the red flags. And if you're courting a man, literally, this is the hardest thing to do, but it's one of the most important things to do. Ask the tough questions, ask the hard questions, ask the personal questions. If you really want to know more about a man, um, ask questions about his father and his mother. It's going to tell you how that man was raised. Um, if this man never respected his dad or his mother, or he got mama and daddy issues, that should be like, oh, okay, well, you know what's going on there. And the same thing for me. If I'm interested in a lady, one thing that'll tell me a lot about her is her habits. Another thing that'll tell me a lot about her is her mom and her dad. Meeting her mom and her dad, or maybe not even meeting. Meeting is ideal though, but hearing the past, because people always vent and kind of tell you stuff, and you kind of listen and you kind of ask the right questions. Well, tell me more about your mom, and do y'all got a good relationship? And she ended up telling you, a few stories about how they got into it. Really listen to those kind of situations because it's going to tell you more about her. Daddy issues, mama issues. That's going to tell you if she can get down with the program. Because if you can't listen to your mom or your dad, and the Bible tells you honor your father and your mother, why would she ever listen to you? And the same thing goes for a man. This is something you should ask your potential husband. That's on you, Ak.
Con. Let me see. I got this Ezekiel 16:44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverbs against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. So that's kind of why he's going into getting to know your parents, getting to know somebody's father or somebody's mother. On our end, on the men's end, we got to know who's this girl's mama. We got to know how her mama act. If her mama act kind of wild, almost a guarantee she gonna act wild. Reason why? Because if her mama act wild, then that lets me know either her daddy is not in the life of them, or he lets that slide. So if he lets that slide, she thinks anything can just go, whereas I wouldn't let that go. So it's like, I'm cool on that situation. This is all just dealing with wisdom, just dealing with wisdom on a plain basis. That would let me know this is a person I don't want to deal with, or so on and so forth. But what was it? What was it? What was it? What was it? My mind went blank. But
I got you.
go ahead.
All right, so dang, my mind almost went blank too. So, yeah, I had a point. Okay, so I was kind of bringing it back full circle. Women, when y'all courting or you see a man who you believe that has a lot of potential, even still take your time. Take your time because this is literally the man who you have to spend the rest of your life with. That man can get another wife, but you cannot go and get another husband. So take your time. Even if this man has potential, um, still take your time. For real, that's major. Um, I want to grab this Luke. I feel like it's 21:19. It's been a minute since I grabbed it, so bear with me.
Kind of all good. We tonight we really we really more just sitting down talking on one-on-one personal level, just giving out certain advice. The Bible says seek wise counsel. So, just seek counsel. And what we doing when we going through and we do videos, that kind of is counseling. When I watch certain people's videos, that is counseling for me. You know, that may help me with a situation I'm going through, or that may help me with a future situation. So, like I said, we just, giving wise counsel on certain topics in certain areas for women to help them with their walk. Why? Because we see it in our daily lives now. Some women actually struggle with abuse. Some women struggle with they don't want their head to be their head no more. Some women struggle with not having a head, and how can they cope with that, and so on and so forth, and this, that, and the third. So tonight is what this for, you know. But it's back on you, like.
Con, I'm gonna start at Luke 21:19. Luke 21:19 says, "And your patience possess ye your souls." Patience, everybody heard this before. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And that's definitely, definitely, definitely true. Patience prevents you from making a lot of mistakes. This is Sirach 20:32. It says, "Necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide." So the point is patience. You want to have that patience when you come into this truth. And I want to grab you this because a lot of times, here we go. Like, check this out. A lot of times, people come into the truth and they spirit not in the right place. And I never even thought about it from this perspective. But one thing that women look for, even from little girls, you always hear about it. They want to be a princess and they want to have a marriage and they want to be married to one man for the rest of their life. That is the American dream, or whatever you want to call it. So sometimes I could see this being a thing. Women could hear about the truth and they could be like, dang, this is like perfect. I can find me a mighty man. That could be where their main focus is, but your main focus needs to be on the Most High God and coming into the truth. Come into the Most High God with a sincere heart. But if you come in here with a wicked mind and your expectations or your thoughts, and when your meditation is on other things, it's going to be easier for you to lose patience because you didn't come into it with the right mindset or with the right spirit. So I'm gonna grab two precepts. Um, I'm gonna go to Sirach, and I'm gonna read chapter 1 and verse 30. Sirach chapter 1 verse 30. It says, "Exalt not thyself lest I fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul, and so God discovered thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation." Here's the point: because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. So if you trying to act like you serving the Most High God, but really you're just trying to snatch you a strong looking man, he got wisdom, he's financially stable, this, that, yada, 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 yada. He got a nice beard and he just mighty. He can teach you all of these things. But if you don't come to the Lord with a true spirit, and you don't check yourself at the door, you're not going to be in here for a long time. You're actually going to get what you're looking for. Hey, this is the scary part. This is the scary part. This is the scary part. And this is I said this yesterday at work when we was with I was with Aharon and I was with Captain Jeremiah. And I was like, I was pulling Captain Jeremiah's leg because I was like, he prayed for something and it came true. And I was like, dang, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful what we ask for. Because even though what Jeremiah asked for, it was beautiful and it was so beneficial to his family, and to this camp, it actually put it put a lot of it put a lot on Jeremiah's shoulders, on Captain Jeremiah's shoulders. So it's like we got to be careful what we ask for. So if you constantly asking for a husband, be careful because he will give you that. That don't mean it's gonna be a righteous husband though. I tell you that I'm gonna just grab it real quick. A
Hold on,
classic
what you
chapter
grabbing?
for the Sorry, 26.
Yeah, I was already finna get on that.
Okay, go ahead.
This brother, you
Bro, get
jumping the
out of
gun,
my
King.
head. Get out of my head.
All right, I'm glad we got here because I was
God.
definitely doing a little bit of researching while we was talking about this. Sirach 26 and 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double." Now, I'm not going to touch on that point right now. What I want to do is I want to jump to Proverbs 31. I'm not going to be in here that long. Everybody, all the women in Israel should damn near have Proverbs 31 memorized by now. You
God,
know,
God,
Proverbs 31 and 10, it says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." What I did was I went into that word virtuous and I went to see what that word is and what that word means in the blue letter. The blue letter says Kayil or whatever. It means strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, ability, efficiency, force, army. And then I went down and looked and see where this word is everywhere else. It's wealth, activity, army, host, able, substance, valor. Even valor popped up for this word, which is virtuous. You know, this is kind of going into a strong woman. Am I talking about I'm a strong, independent black woman? No.
INDEP, whatever
Right.
Boosie said.
That's not what this is going into. This is going into kind of what Sirach said. The days of a man's life are doubled when he has a strong woman behind him. Why? Because a strong woman knows what she needs to do. She knows where her strengths lie, and she's going to increase in that strength. She may be a woman that's good with medicines. She may be a woman that's good with food and meals. She's not going to give you something that that's going to hinder your life. My wife would never feed me something that would end up killing me. And if it's good for me, she gonna make it taste even that much better. You know what I'm saying? So she's going to increase in all that. She's going to increase in her household. She's going to increase in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to the best of her ability. But she's also going to hold her husband accountable. She's going to hold her husband to a certain standard. Like, well, damn, babe, you used to read this many times a day. Now you don't read this many times a day. Or you're going to do this, this, that, and the third. When it says that the number of his days shall be doubled, that's going into life. Of course, it's going into life on a carnal level, but it's also going into life on a spiritual level as well. Can you give me Proverbs 21:16?
Con.
Uh, Lord willing, that's the precept.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
A man that wandereth out of the way of the congregation shall Salakia, a man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Your wife can keep you from wandering out of the way of understanding. She can keep you up on your toes when you feeling down some days. This is how a man's life, spiritually and physically, is doubled, is made longer. But it says, verse 2, Sirach 26:2, a virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. He's going to fulfill the days of his life in peace. Say what you're going to say while I grab this precept.
All right. It says that he's going to fulfill the rest of his days in peace. And that's the whole duty of a woman, to actually bring peace to your head, to your husband. It's not, your relationship shouldn't be complicated with your husband. It should be simple, plain upon tables. It should be, this is what I need from you. Boom. You do it, your man should have rest. It should be peace. And we're going to pull more precepts on it, but it's on you.
Kind of roughly paraphrasing, there's one scripture that says, dang, I just lost it. All right, well, this is Proverbs 27:15. A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. That man isn't at peace whenever he's sitting there and he's hearing this continual thing. It's constant. She's pissed off today. She's pissed off yesterday. She was pissed off the day before that. She's mad. She's mad. She's mad. She's always trying to come at me. She's always asking questions. She's always doing this, doing that, doing this, that, and the third. And that reminded me of the precept that I was going to bring out. The precept where it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Is a what?
Is a gift of the Lord. You got to understand that. Does that mean don't ever talk to your husband? No, that's not what that's going into. But you need to know what your husband likes. A lot of men doesn't want to just sit there and just hear you talk all the day long. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to give you game. I'm trying to give you insight on how the game go. He doesn't want you to just sit there and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And it's becoming vanity. And you're talking about the damn Kardashians. And you're talking about the damn, the damn thing you seen on TV the other day. You're talking about some shit on MTV. You're just talking, you're just talking, you're just talking. You're talking to a man of the Lord at that. Or you start sitting there, you start talking about somebody else and their lives and their household, and you bringing up them. No, a man doesn't want to hear that all the day long. That's why it says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, because she knows when it's her time to talk. When she brings forth something, it's going to either increase him. It's going to increase him or increase them. Go ahead.
It's a classic. I'm going to pass right back to you. Ecclesiastes 5:1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
God, that was very powerful. He said, keep thy foot when thou goest into the house of the Lord. The men are considered the house of the Lord now. They're the tabernacles of the Lord. That's where the Lord's spirit is dwelling among men. Chiefly, not saying that the Lord don't dwell with women. That's not what I mean.
Right.
Don't take no offense. I'm not meaning it like that, but we know that the Lord deals with men on a certain level. Go ahead.
Proverbs 8:4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men.
God, his voice is to the sons of men. So don't take offense when I say that. But going back, it says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. Be more ready to understand what your husband is saying. Be more ready to understand what your husband is doing. Be more ready to understand how your husband is. Be more ready to hear what he has to say. Be more ready to hear what he has to bring out instead of going up and giving the sacrifice of a fool. What is the sacrifice of a fool? A fool isn't going to sacrifice the right things unto who? Unto the Lord. Go ahead.
Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. A sacrifice of a fool would be being hasty, being rash in his speech. But even a fool, when he holds his peace just for a moment, it's a wise thing. Your husband might be like, hey, go do this. The first thing that pop in your head might be like, why? Dead serious. You could be like, why? I don't understand why you want me to do this. That's not the thing, though. Your shot come and be like, hey, go jump in that damn dumpster. God,
I
I
now
don't understand it. I'm gonna go handle that though. I know it's something there.
right.
It's probably a prophecy that gotta be from something needs. I gotta go do it. There's certain things, there's certain commandments that's commanded at us, and I don't necessarily understand why it's like that just yet. But guess what I do? I'm gonna do it. But you know what? The Lord is so merciful and great, and shows so much compassion and mercy on us. He'll tell us to do something, and he'll tell us why.
hmm
And he's never going to tell us to do something that'll put us in danger. He's like, hey, keep these commandments. It's for your good. I'm like, hey, man, go do this. You don't have to understand it. And it's better for you just to go do it than for you to start being contentious. Um, this is a big deal. One thing you should get in the habit of is being what's the word I'm looking for? An effective communicator. Because men, we kind of can communicate effectively. At least a lot of men that I'm around now. And it gets to a point where we're so effective at communicating, we don't gotta say too much words. Hey, Aharon, we did the numbers on it. 55% of all communication, the numbers is 55% of communication is body language.
hmm
So you need to be an effective communicator with your husband and make sure your body language is on point. And if you're really feeling away, don't let them demons sit on you for a whole day, for a whole 2 days, for 3 days. You just be like, Lord, I'm kind of in my feelings about this. I know I shouldn't be feeling like this. Salakia. You don't know how major it is to have a woman like that. Be a woman that can communicate. And you know what your husband gonna say? Con, I get it. I understand why that offended you. Because we're gonna understand it.
hmm
That don't mean we necessarily gonna jump and change and not do it. We did it like that for a reason. I understand it made you feel like that. Maybe next time I'll consider it and try and do it another way. But for right now, I need it done like that. I'm so glad you expressed it to me. Now I know. Now you don't have to go. Now we don't have to be weird for the next 2 days. Now we can still progress. Because literally, you we finna get into it. You guys let me slow down. So you
Kind um, like we said, that's why you do want to get a man of understanding. That way, you can communicate these things unto him. My head was everywhere, man. That way you can communicate these things unto him. But I got this is Proverbs 25:19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in the time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. You don't want to have your confidence in an unfaithful man. This is for the women that are not married. You don't want to have your confidence in an unfaithful man. You don't want to rush into a marriage and you find out this brother is not who he say he is. Anybody can walk around and say
Crazy.
one thing or say this and say that, and well, look at me, I do this, I do that, I got this much faith. Even Paul said it, roughly paraphrasing, wherein is boasting. You can't boast in the law, in the righteousness of God, which is going in the faith. You can't boast in that. There is no boasting in that because it's all going to show at the end. You know, a brother gonna be like, well, damn, I can say I'm gonna sit here and go out like a G. I'm gonna go out like damn Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I can say that all day, but when the time comes, what will I really do? Only the Most High knows. There is no boasting in that. So get you a man that's rooted and grounded in the faith, rooted and grounded in works and showing that he actually does love the Most High God instead of just saying it and instead of just going off of appearance. Because the Most High never goes off appearance. Even when he went to go pick out David, he didn't go off of appearance. Samuel was like, surely this man right here is who the Lord is going to choose. And Most High was like, no, 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 no. That ain't who I want. I want the youngest, the one that's over there messing with the sheep. That's who I want. And that man was David, mighty. And Samuel probably, he probably had a thought in his head because the first king was who? Saul. Saul was the tallest man over everybody. He was mighty in stature. And then the next to come after him is David, this little child, and he kind of little, and he's the youngest. It's like, damn. So you never want to go off of appearance just because this brother appears to be righteous, or just because this brother appears to be doing this, that, and the third, and says this, that, and the third. That's not it's not what it's about. It's about what's in his heart. It's about what he really feel, a contrite spirit. You had a precept like
Con. 1 Samuel 16:7. It says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
God, straight like that. Don't look on his countenance. Don't look on his stature. Don't look because his brother looks mighty and he looks valiant. No, the Most High God doesn't see like that. He sees on a whole nother level. He even told you his thoughts are not our thoughts, his ways are not our ways, so on and so forth. What the Most High God see is a mighty brother. You may see a brother that's skinny, talking to you women. You may see a brother that's out here skinny, little. You probably like, throw him off to the side. I don't want this nigga, man. He look at him, he all little. He ain't gonna go hard for the truth and this, that, and the third.
He
And then
can't
they go
protect me.
meet. Right, he can't protect me. And then they go see they go see a brother that's 6'5", kind of muscly with fringes on, and they like, I want him. When the young brother was well, not young brother, but when the skinny brother was mighty as a lion, he had the heart of a lion. He went hard for the Most High. Come to find out, at the end, he actually probably did die for his wife.
Right.
Whereas you got this 6'5" brother, you looking on the outward appearance, he dropped out of the truth 2 years into marriage. Next thing you know, you in the world with him now. That's a tough situation. When you're dealing with these matters, you have to really pray, fast on these matters. Maybe the Lord will give you a head, maybe he won't. It's not always a wrong thing if you don't have a head. Maybe he'll give you a head, maybe he won't. But back to the women with heads, back to the women, speaking on women with heads. Sirach 26, verse 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Salakia, I thought we still back on the women without heads, without, husbands. Women, if you are given unto a wicked man, you need to re-examine yourself. You need to think about it. You need to,
Mm.
go and look in the mirror and be like, damn, am I wicked? Because I got a wicked head. Ah, because we just read it right here. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given, which means the Lord is going to give you, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. A good wife is given unto a good man. A good wife or a righteous wife is given unto a righteous man. So what's that on the opposite end? A wicked wife is given unto a wicked man, a wicked husband. You know, same thing with same thing on a spiritual level with us and Yahweh Shai, or us and the Most High. Most High is righteous, and we're supposed to be married unto the Most High God. We're not going to be married unto Him if we're wicked. We got to be married unto Him when we righteous. I mean, it's just it's plain as day. It's right there in the scriptures. But back at it, verse 4. It says, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. There be three things that mine heart feareth, and the fourth I was sore afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. Mar, you got it.
Um, can you do me a favor and just look up grief on Google for me? And it's gonna be like the second definition that I want. But it
Huh.
says a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman. And this is some major and mighty. This is a major spirit in the world and in the truth. And when you come into the truth, you can't bring this spirit with you. You can't. And it's hard to deal with jealousy. There's no way to deal with jealousy than to deal with it. It ain't no shortcuts. It ain't no easy way. It ain't no it just is what it is. It's either you're gonna deal with it and really get over it, or you're gonna be overcome by the spirit. And it's literally gonna take you out of the truth. We've seen it play out. I've experienced it. Go ahead, Adi.
Precept Matthew 17:21. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. This is going into demons and devils on the left hand side. When they come and they possess someone, jealousy is a mighty spirit, is a demon. Sometimes for women that kind of demon doesn't leave unless it's through prayer and fasting. Do you really want to get over this jealousy spirit? Do you really
That's the
want to get
that's the
over it?
difference.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. A lot of
Okay.
times you'll find out that a woman, she'll talk a good game and say, I'm not really tripping if my head wants another wife, that blah, 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 blah. But when push come to shove, when something like that is brought to the table, it's it's not like that. It's just a whole bunch of jealousy. And jealousy is one of them demons. It's not just one simple solution because jealousy is a plethora of different spirits and demons in one. Um, it's a lot of fear because change. Because when you bring another person under your household, changes happen. Anytime there's change involved, a lot of fear is involved. So
Hmm.
fear is one of the things that's intermingled with jealousy. Selfishness. That's another demon you have to conquer to even try and fight jealousy. Selfishness. Is it all about you? Me, spirit. You got pride. You got you got a lack of faith, a lot of insecurity. You don't really trust what the Most High God is doing, or you don't really think your husband is strong enough to lead you and another woman. It's a lot of things in a lot of directions that has a hand to
Mm-mm,
play. What you got?
mm-mm. It's not that she thinks that. That's the excuse she'll give. Well, I don't
Mm,
think you ready. It's always an excuse for a man not to get another wife. Now, men, is it expedient to have multiple wives? No, it's not expedient. Depending on certain situations, it's not expedient. I'm gonna say that because I don't know everybody's situation. Is it lawful for you to get another wife? Yeah, but women know that. So what they'll try to do is, well, you got to take care of us and this. Well, I don't think you're ready. I don't know if you got this, that, and the third together. Well, you kind of do this and you kind of do that, so on and so forth. It's always an excuse or a barrier to keep that back. They're still holding on to jealousy. They don't want to let that jealousy spirit go. It's
more to the
never,
point.
yeah, it's never okay. Um, well, I believe in you. I believe in you, Lord. I think you can handle it. Let's just see what happens. It's never no faith behind her husband whenever he wants to add to the household. There is no faith right there. Just like we read back in Ephesians, you're supposed to reverence your husband as the Lord. We're supposed to put our faith in the Lord. You're supposed to put your faith in us. Not in totality. Do not think I'm just saying that. Not in totality, but you're supposed to have some faith in your head. You know, you're supposed to have some faith in your head that he can handle it.
That's
Go ahead.
why. That's why you slept with him, because you
Hmm.
believed in him and that he could do those kind of things. One point about jealousy. Come to find out through experience, the only way to get over jealousy is to have a woman who literally willingly wants to overcome that demon. If she doesn't want to get over jealousy, it's never going to happen. You can't want it for her. That's a big thing. So that's just a side note. Another point was it was something you said and it triggered. It was something I wanted to go into. So like you said, I forget. I had
Hmm.
2 points. I forget. It was good though. It was good though. Shalom to everybody in the chat that I haven't saluted. Shalom, shalom. But I forgot the point, man. What did you go into?
Um, how they don't want to actually get over jealousy. I brought out that Matthew showing only these demons can leave through prayer and fasting. And that's the thing. Women actually have to want to get rid of that demon, get rid of that jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
You ask a girl if she ever prayed or fasted upon it, and she'll be like, nah. It's like, damn, so you don't really even want to get over it. And then she'll be like, well, I'm not even jealous. I just don't think you're ready. I'm not jealous. I just don't see why you need another woman.
That's the point.
Go
Women
ahead.
always try and say, you don't need another wife. Let's break this down a little bit. Let's just deal a little bit. Let's deal a little bit. Check this out. Let's just say, let's give a scenario. I'll use myself as an example. Everyone knows that I'm married. Now, I actually had this situation happen. My wife was like, why do you want another wife? You don't really need one. I was like, just listening to her, and I'm like, now look, this is where I kind of got to stop you. I didn't need you when I took you as my wife. The things you do for me is beautiful, and I love having them things. I love the way you do them. I'm grateful. The water, the water, the water. But cooking, cleaning, all of the things she does for me, I didn't need her to do them because I was already getting it done by myself. So when you try and use that, it's a terrible, terrible argument to say you don't need another wife. You're right. I didn't need a wife. His brothers, Paul didn't need a wife. Yahushua didn't need a wife. You think David needed a wife? No, he didn't need. He wanted one. So it's a bad way to address um you not wanting your husband to get a wife. Saying you don't need another wife. You're right. If you want to be technical, I don't really need any wives. It's a great help to have you though. So how much
Mm-hmm.
more if I had another one? That's the
Mm-hmm.
that's a cut. But can you give me Tobit?
Which one there?
Actually, um 8 and 6.
Captain DeBar funny. He said, "I'm live." He said he was about
He
to go
about to go
live because he
live.
thought we canceled. All right,
I've been live for an hour. Right.
right. This is Tobit chapter 8 and verse 6. It says, "Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay.
Right.
Of them came mankind. Thou hast said, It is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself."
Right. It's good to have help. It's good to have someone who's devoted to you and you're devoted to Yahushua. And it's just a perfect pecking order. It's good to have it. Can it be done without a wife? Yes. But the point is, it's good to have a wife. And she's supposed to be an aid and helper. And that should be the whole if your mind when you come into a marriage is he's gonna do this for me and that, this, that, and you make it about you, it's gonna be a tough patch in that marriage. That's gonna be something that you have to understand. It's not all about you. That's the problem. That can become a serious problem if you bring that selfish spirit into a marriage where it's all about you. Shalom, Mo R Israel. Shalom. All right, I want to grab this precept, and I kind of want to go back to jealousy and give a few examples. Can you get that bone in my bone for me, Baba Kasha? Because this is major. So, being in the truth, you see a lot and you experience a lot, and even being in the world, you see a lot, experience a lot, and you take it for what it is, and you try your best not to make the same mistakes. One of the things I see oftentimes is that marriages don't work because of jealousy, 100%, especially in the truth, even in the world. Disclaimer: in a world that's not being done right, then truth, men are actually trying to do it the right way according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Either, no matter what, we see time and time again, marriages fails because of this issue, and I kind of want to talk about it a little bit in detail. So can you grab that for me, Baba Kasha?
This is Genesis 2 and 23. And Adam said, This is now a bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man.
And so that's saying bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. That means y'all are one. Y'all are on one accord. When you make a marriage with a woman, y'all should already y'all should already be on one accord. Y'all should already understand. She should already understand what's required of her. It shouldn't be like you marry her and then you tell her what you need. That's a disaster. Same thing for the man. A man should already know what's required of him. It shouldn't be you sleep with a man and then you're like, oh yeah, king, you have to keep commandments. Oh yeah, king, this, that, and the third. No, it should already be established. But we see jealousy changes this saying because I already said everyone knows jealousy destroys marriages. Jealousy destroys marriages. So they're saying, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. We're on one accord. We're going to be together forever. Me and you are one. It should be so solid like that, so plain upon tables where your wife already knows what's required of her before you even ask her. Why? Because it's so simple and plain. Y'all are on one accord. She understand. Hey, marriage is a job. Marriage is not that movie, that Hollywood marriage, and the white picket fence and a red door and a golden retriever, and you got a house, and in the kitchen is an island, and you drink smoothies at 8 a.m. every day. You take the kids to school, you come back home, you're a stay-at-home mom, you take them to soccer practice, you bake some brownies and cookies for them. Husband comes home, y'all all sit at the table, and look, let's be honest, a marriage is not like that. Marriage is not like that. Paul told you that when you have a marriage, its ups and downs, there's going to be problems, there's going to be altercations, but ultimately, one of the biggest problems just goes back to jealousy. And it changes that saying, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. That thing is cut in half. Because you know what that woman does? Here in America, it's the thing. If this nigga don't work, I'm gonna go get another one. And if that nigga don't work, I'm gonna go get another one. And if he don't work, I'm gonna just do it all over again. Not even realizing that that's a plague, not even knowing that she's devaluing herself. She was worth this much, but every time she sleeps with someone else, her value dramatically decreases. A virtuous woman who can find her says her price is far above rubies. That's a valuable woman, a virtuous woman, a God-fearing woman, a woman who keeps the commandments. We know these things, but when you go against those things, your value decreases tremendously. Shalom, we got Yadadiah in the chat. Shalom, shalom. We should have brought him in here. This is his office. So I want to talk about a few things with jealousy, a few people. Everybody should be familiar with Cain and Abel. They both brought an offering to the Lord in chapter 4. Cain's offering was fruit. The Lord didn't say do that. Abel's offering was what was actually required, and the Lord was pleased with it. But Cain got jealous and killed his brother. That's one scenario. Jealousy breeds hatred. Next thing you know, you're a murderer. That's why jealousy is so. I feel like everyone. What's the word I'm looking for? Where you kind of, it's like not an underdog, but underestimate. People actually underestimate jealousy.
They entertain it.
They what?
I said they entertain it.
They entertain it.
That's like can you grab me when David said the thoughts of foolishness is sin?
Yeah, I got that. I got the one in Proverbs.
That's fine.
Okay. You said David. I was gonna say, I don't know. Let me see.
So like I
Proverbs
know it's either David or David Seed, one of them.
24:9. It says the thoughts of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men.
So kind of thoughts of foolishness is sin, you know. A woman to sit here and meditate, and I know they meditate on it because I've had women tell me about it. They sit there and meditate. Oh, well, if I catch him with so and so, I'm gonna beat that B up, this, that, and the third. And I'm gonna, do this to her, and I'm gonna do this to him. And at the end of the day, they're more mad at the woman than the man, which is the funny part to me, at least. They're always more
Right.
mad at the woman than the man that's actually doing it or committing it, which is funny. But they sit there and they meditate on those thoughts and they get comfortable with jealousy, and then they don't feel wrong in it. You feel comfortable with it.
That's it.
Yeah. And they entertain that spirit. So that jealousy spirit is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Next thing you know, my man can't have another wife. My man can't do this, or my man can't. That's when you trying to take the leadership role, or that's when you trying to take the role as the head. And that's out of order. That's out of order. And then you got some brothers, that actually allow their women to do that. They'll be like, all right, well, my wife don't want me to do this, and my wife don't, because if it's gonna start with that one thing, and then it's gonna add, and then it's gonna build, and it's gonna build. Next thing you know, she's wearing the pants in the relationship. That's funny. She's wearing the pants in a relationship. So with that being said, everything is out of order. Everything is going down in chaos now. That's not how it works. You don't want to entertain any demons. Give me First Thessalonians 5:22, Baba Kasha. You don't want to entertain any demons, any devils, any wicked things that's going on. You don't want to entertain those because they could corrupt you and they could overtake you. They can overmaster you. They can overpower you. It's like it. These things and these demons were set up to destroy you. The only way you can get through them is with the Most High and with the Messiah. That's the only way you can get through it. That's why the Messiah said prayer and fasting, but everybody forgets to pray and nobody wants to fast. Nobody wants to get, well, damn, I can handle jealousy. I don't, I'm cool. I don't get, I can do it by myself type shit.
And that's what I'm saying. They underestimate it. They be like, I can handle it. I can handle my man having another wife. Do I want him to? No, but if push come to shove, I can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know you're already underestimating it. That's how you know you ain't never been put in those shoes yet.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know,
You
you
getting
getting
yoked
hammed up
up.
by getting yoked up, and jealousy got you in a salvation bond. Jealousy puts people in a salvation bond. It's either you're gonna get over those emotions or you're not, and you're gonna hate that sister, or even worse, hate your husband. Imagine me hating Yahweh Shah.
Because he granted salvation to other people.
Imagine me hating my Lord because he said, hey, you can get salvation. You can too, though. And I'm getting jealous. Like, I don't like this. Salvation is only for me.
Yeah, that's selfish. That's greedy. That's literally greed. That's a child. That is literally acting like a child.
That's a temper tantrum,
Yeah.
throwing a
No, I
fit.
want it like this because it's me. I want to do this. I want to do that. Me. I. It's never about we.
Ooh,
It's
here
never
go here
about
go the one.
us. Go ahead.
I just feel like,
Right.
tell me that ain't it, does it?
Right. With no
I just
precepts
feel
behind it.
no logic behind it.
No.
No logic behind it. I just feel like,
Yeah. Straight like that. And then they go on the rant, no precepts, no biblical anything behind that. But grab me that First Thessalonians 5:22 real quick, Baba Kashaf.
First Thessalonians 5:22 says, abstain from all appearances of evil.
Abstain from all appearances of evil. And the appearance of evil is going into jealousy, envy, which can lead to wrath, hatred, anger, murder. It can literally lead to murder. Somebody who's entertaining jealousy, if they get to that tipping point, they are liable to actually kill someone on a physical level. We're not even talking about on a spiritual level where Halashah said if you hate somebody, that's murder. That's still big. But no, it can lead someone to actually go and kill someone. And if not go kill someone, kill themselves. That's how powerful it is. That's how strong it is. You have to be wanting, you have to be craving to get over this spirit. You have
Your
to be
spirit,
willing to get over
literally.
this spirit. It can't be nothing else. It
One
can't be
take
nothing.
this.
Because Talakia, I remember Captain Tazama was talking one time and he made mention, he said, a lot of these women that, they go around saying, I want a man like David. No, the hell you don't. No, you don't. They'll sit there and say, I want a man like David. And you ask them why. Well, he was righteous and he was mighty and he was a man. He was just a man. Well, okay, I'm gonna tell you what kind of man he was. I'm gonna tell you, he was righteous. He was valiant. He was a man. Check this out though. He had multiple women and his life was always at risk. He was out in
Always.
war. He was out in war. But you can't even get past that first part. Fuck if his life is at risk. You don't care about that. He had who? He had what? He had multiple women,
Oh man, you're killing me.
an abundance of women. And the Lord said that he would have given them more. That came out the Lord's mouth. He would have given them more. So don't go fix your mouth and say that you want something that you truly don't want, because the Lord will put that in front of you. The Lord will
That's what
give
I
you a
s-
man like David.
Be careful what you asking for, because
Mm-hmm.
that's literally the kind of God we serve. He will give you that.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, you want a husband? Kind. But because you didn't come in truth, I got this wicked one over here for you.
Right.
Hey, you know what's crazy? The
What's up?
Lord has showed a faithful, a faithful habit of giving people over to their biggest fear. That's the kind of Lord we serve.
Definitely.
He will
Yeah.
give you over to the thing you're most scared of. He will mock you. He will scorn you. Hey, the Egyptians, they had certain gods, snakes. Hey, spill that real quick while I look for this precept.
God, hold on. I need you to add this one because my phone finna die. I'm finna enter into the studio.
Okay. Okay, but the point is, the Egyptians had certain gods, like snakes. Next thing you know, in Numbers, what is that? I think it's Numbers the eighth chapter, or man, let me check because I don't want to quote it and then that'd be right. Numbers, it's not eight. It might be. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. What is it? 18. He lifted up that bronze serpent. 21, and I usually start at 8. That's why. Basically, it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole, that it should come to pass to every man that is bitten. When he looketh upon it, shall live. Anyways, the point is, they served snakes, but the Lord ended up using a snake to kill all the Egyptians that came with the Israelites in the wilderness. Because everybody should know it was a mixed multitude that followed the Israelites. But anyways, the point is, if your biggest fear is getting a man who has another wife, the Lord is bound to do that because he does stuff like that to prove you. Like the Lord, he always proved it. That's actually in the law. He said he left them other nations in the land of Israel to prove us, to see if we was really gonna serve him. He always did that. He will test you. He will put you to the test, see if you're gonna fold up or not. That's part of you being chastised. That's part of you being refined. That's part of your garments being cleaned, taking out them blots and them blemishes. If you fold up, you're gonna get a reward. But if you get the victory, it's gonna be like he had said. Man, I got a lot of examples I wanted to touch on as far as jealousy because I feel like nobody really goes into it. And maybe instead of me pulling the precepts for the sake of time, we already been here for an hour, and I'm having a blast. I hope the ladies is too. I hope everybody actually learning and it's actually edifying. But let me make sure he's not in the background. Okay, there he is, right there.
I'm in the back waiting.
Shalom, no, state your name.
So
What's your plane?
like I'm on my iPad, so look a little crazy.
Look a little blocky. It's all good. Okay,
Yeah.
so I already kind of spit what I was gonna have you spit. You probably already heard me, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, one of the things, one of the examples I had for jealousy was Joseph. Jacob had 12 sons. One of the sons, I'm gonna just grab it. What is it like Genesis 37, 27, 37, 37. I feel right. Check this out. Genesis 37 and verse,
Start at 3.
yeah, that's what I want. Verse 3, it says, now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him.
Hold
So
on.
you,
Was Jacob going off for loving Joseph more?
of course not. That's in the law.
No, hell no, he wasn't going. The
Of
Lord
course not.
has favorites. The Lord created everything, and He has favorites. He has a favorite people. He has a favorite flower. He has a favorite land. If we want to be like the Lord, we have favorites as well. You have your favorite pair of shoes that you they're holy unto you. They are
They
holy.
separate. Huh.
They separate. But then you got them shoes that you cut the yard in. You know what I'm saying? So Jacob is not going off for loving something or loving his son more than his other sons. Did that mean that he hated his other sons? No. Did that mean treat his other sons like shit? No. We got this Edomitic concept of I gotta love everything equally. That's where problems come in, like nigga, because your actions will not show that.
Right.
Your actions won't show. Like my daddy actually told me. He told me his favorite is his firstborn daughter. Did I take offense? No. Shit, cool. You know, she pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. I didn't take offense. It's in our spirit. It is what it is. But back on you, I
Hey, once you get think about this. It's not good for you to stress or worry about something you cannot control. Me stressing or worrying about my dad having the other favorite child ain't gonna change nothing. It is what it is. Take it on the chin. It says, and when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and we already you should kind of be familiar with the dream Joseph had that all his brothers would end up bowing down to him, so forth and so on. But the point is, Joseph was his dad's favorite, and because of that, that sparked jealousy, and all of his brothers hated him, and they end up taking it as far as selling him to captivity. That's how strong the spirit of jealousy is, where you actually betray your brother. If you don't get this spirit under control, you're gonna be killing your sister. Whether you actually shoot her, put a knife to her head, or suffocate her, whatever the case may be, but spiritually, you killed her. You are a murderer if you hate your sister. You're a murderer. You can't get to the kingdom like that. You can't get to the kingdom like that.
mm-mm.
You just can't. Um, I got another example. Did you have anything?
No, go ahead.
Another example is King David. I say King Saul and David before David was actually a king. Now I'm gonna go to like what is it, First Samuel, probably like 16, 7. I know 17 is when he fought Goliath. So yeah, it might be 18. First Samuel. Bear with me, y'all. I'm shaking the rust off of
Kind
this
of all
preset
good.
right here. You gotta get the dust off that preset right here. Ooh, let's see. I want the part. I want to get straight to the point. Where they said David killed his Saul killed his 1,000 and David his 10,000s. Where is that? That gotta be
Bear with us. It's First Samuel 18:7.
18 and 7. Can you read it for me, Baba Kashan?
This is First Samuel 18:7. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and unto me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
And literally, Saul was trying to kill David.
Salakia, one more verse. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at the other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
They said an evil spirit. That evil spirit is jealousy, hatred, selfishness, covetous, wanting all of the things that David had, hating them for something that another woman said. That don't sit. It's never an excuse. You're never gonna have an excuse to hate your sister. It's never gonna be a good enough reason.
It's
It's
not a
never.
good.
It's never gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? It's no way you can formulate your words and be like, I just feel like it's never gonna hit. It's never gonna hit. Just give it up.
Hey, just to let y'all know. Even so, even if um you say what you say and you get your spill over on your husband and your husband get down with it, you're never going to be justified in the Most High's eyes. That's the thing. That's the main problem. You may be justified in your Lord's eyes and your, in your husband's eyes. What about the Most High though? You won't be justified. You're literally sitting there saying, doing all these things to avoid handling this demon. Instead of handling it, you're just trying to, beat around the bush and trying to deal with it some more and just, messing with it. You got to handle it. You have to get through it. Like, seriously, this is what ends relationships. This ends marriages. This ends families. This ends households. Why? Because Esau told us what? You have one man, you have one wife. Esau, they told us this, a man and a man, woman and woman. That's what Esau say. So we're supposed
Really,
to keep going on with what Esau say? Really? Like, really? All this propaganda that's been building up on these TV shows that these women watch. Don't take offense, women, but these TV shows, these basketball wives, and oh, I beat this B word up if she touched my husband, or I slap or I kill this B word, or this, that, and the third. All that is propaganda. That's propaganda. Because if you ask, and if you look at a lot of these women that actually live in a multiple wife household, these women be happy. These women be chilling. They be cooling. It ain't no beef. It ain't nothing weird going on. You got your occasional irritated moments because that's just with everybody though. If I'm around Mahar all day, 24/7, I'm gonna get irritated. Like, bro, stop talking. Like, I'm tired of hearing you talk. That's with everybody. But all this propaganda that Esau has been pushing is what led our people to follow them and to follow into the way of destruction and the way of hell and the way of hatred. Us hating, it's all going back to us hating each other. That's what it all go back to. You sit there and you ask your wife, well, why don't you like her? And she can't give you a finite answer. She don't want to just say, well, because she dealing with you. She don't want to say that. That's not gonna come out of her mouth because she know what the Bible say. She know the Bible don't line up with what she talking. You have to want to get over it. We already bringing out these examples of how strong jealousy is. Jealousy took over a king. Jealousy took over a king. Jealousy had men sell their brother unto death. They didn't know what was going to happen to Joseph after that. They thought he died. They sold him to be a slave. And you think jealousy can't, just whoop your ass? I've gotten my ass beaten by jealousy a couple times. I had to deal with it. I mean, it's just, you just got to get through it for real. If jealousies can take over kings, guess what? They can take over kingdoms. And if they can take over
mm,
kingdoms, they can take over worlds. And that is what it is. All through jealousy, which led to hatred, which led to murder. But it's on you, I.
Another example of jealousy. You grab it in Numbers with Miriam. There's really a plethora of places we could go to talk about jealousy. They in there. They in there. Numbers 12.
12? I thought it was 8.
12 and 1.
Okay. This is Numbers chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Hath not Slakia, and they said, Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And
Hey,
the
and they
Lord
kind of
heard
looking,
it.
hey, the Lord heard it. Miriam and Aaron, they kind of looking at Moses, kind of like, is the Lord only speaking by you, or is he speaking by us also? Because if I remember right, he had me do this for the nation. If I remember right, he had me do this for the nation. It's not just, and you can see how that spirit of jealousy kind of pull up because Moses was exalted. But when they said those things, particularly when she said those things, when Miriam said those things, it said the Lord heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the Lord is actually catching our thoughts. These angels is actually writing down your thoughts. There's no way you can fake it. You literally have to deal with jealousy.
Or
That's literally
jealousy gonna deal with you.
deal with you, right? God, that's funny. Hey, let's keep reading though, man. Let's see what happened to Miriam.
Kind. Verse 3. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. Why is that in there? That's in there to show Moses wasn't on nothing weird. He wasn't. There is no reason to come at Moses like this. This nigga is meek. He's humble. He's low spoken. He's not finna sit. He's not boasting about his wisdom. He's not walking
Um,
around the wilderness and being like, the Lord speaketh through me only. He's not doing that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's not walking around there with pride. You
No,
know, it's on you though.
he ain't doing none of that. He's meek, the meekest man in the world. Meek, humble. Verse 4. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. Now, remember, these three are all brothers and sisters. Aaron, Miriam, Moses. Miriam, the sister of Aaron and Moses. They are related, So that can be a little bit of jealousy already off the jump. How, well, damn, Most High God only, dealing with him. Well, it's like, why is it just dealing with him? Like, I'm the older brother. Nigga, what do I don't get it. What's going on? Or,
Right.
it's always something between brothers and sisters. We already know this. It's always a little bit of something between brothers and sisters. But verse 5, and the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. Now, the Lord is telling them this because they saying, Lord spoke to us, this, that, and the third. They was feeling some type of way about how Moses was carrying himself. Verse 7, My servant Moses is not so who is faithful. My servant Moses is not so who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Damn. So the Most High came down and was just like, I'm gonna speak to Moses face to face. I'm not gonna speak unto him nothing hard to understand. It's gonna be plain as day. I'm gonna speak to him as such. So why do you feel a way to talk to him that way? It's not like Moses chose me, nigga. I chose Moses. You know, it ain't like it ain't nothing weird going on. It ain't like Moses earned it. No, I chose him. I'm speaking. I'm not. I'm speaking from most high perspective, so everybody get it. Not being weird or bugged out. But we can get back to it. Verse 9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against him, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. So damn. Huh. I thought Aaron and Miriam spoke out against Moses. Why do we find only Miriam getting leprosy? They both spoke out against Moses. They both, had the same thoughts. They probably talking to each other about it like, well, damn, why did he only get to talk to the Lord? The Lord speak through us too, and blah, 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 blah. He used us as vessels, this, that, and the third, you know. But Miriam, she's the only one that gets leprosy. Because Miriam, even though they both spoke out of turn, Miriam definitely spoke out of turn.
The more.
She's not a man, a man and a man, they can have a kind of a dialogue on some, some type stuff like, well, damn, bro, this, that, and the third. But a woman can never say the same thing that a man can say to a man. She should never utter the same things a man would say to another man,
Right.
on that kind of level. That's just order. That's just how it is. We already read the order to start the class. Most High, Slakia, Most High, Christ, men, women. It ain't there, but children. That's the order. That's how it is. So
That's a little bit more on there.
yeah. Verse 10, Salakia, verse 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days?
Hey,
That's crazy.
it's serious for a woman to not be shamefaced. She should always, just how, if we let me slow down a little bit. Yahushua was on the scene, the apostles was there with him, but the apostles was scared to get out of order. They were scared to even ask Yahushua questions. They was like talking amongst themselves, wondering about a question. He was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna ask him. You ask him." The apostles didn't want to bother that man. They didn't want to get out of order. That's the same way it should be with a woman. She should know her place. She should know where the line is. And Miriam crossed the line. Not only did she have a wicked spirit on her, but she actually spoke them things. It's like, come on now, you really supposed to die. But Moses beseeched the Lord, and she got put outside the camp.
Yeah, she had to think
She had to
about
go
it.
sit, yeah, she had to go meditate, sit down somewhere and get back in order, because that's not okay. That spirit is not okay. All right. But man, it made me think of can we go to 2 Samuel 6? And I know we kind of beaten up jealousy, but this is well overdue. I do want to end the lesson on a more sweeter note, and we will, Lord willing. But this is needed for our nation, even though, we kind of beating up a horse. Lord willing, everybody get it, but nobody really goes through and show accounts of jealousy and the fruits of jealousy. They never been good. 2 Samuel 6, start at like 17, 16. Really, you could start at like 20 probably
Yeah.
to get to the point. I can
Yeah,
get a little
this
background. So basically, this is when the ark is actually being brought back to Jerusalem. You got King David. He's going to reign over the whole nation because he kind of been ruling over Judah. You know, everybody in Judah kind of follow him, but he had to leave because his son Absalom, I believe, Absalom um, uh, basically over tried to overthrow the kingdom, tried to undermine his dad and take the kingdom from underneath him. So he had to flee. But long story short, he's finna gain the whole kingdom, and the Ark of the Covenant is being brought back to Jerusalem. So let's start at 20.
God. 2 Samuel 6 and verse 20. And David returned to bless his household. And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his
Hey,
servants.
so I want everybody to kind of catch what's going on. King David was kind of out there getting lit for the Lord, getting lit. This is a king. King's not supposed to they're noble and they're held to a different standard because they are the king of an entire nation. Nobles do not carry themselves in a fashion that a regular day-to-day civilian would carry themselves. Just like the presidents of the United States. You don't see the presidents acting the same way a regular citizen would act. You usually don't see that. You don't see the Pope doing the things that a regular civilian would do. It's it's out of order. But in this particular case, it's not. I kind of want to read it in another translation. Um, I'm gonna read it in NIV because David kind of danced. He was dancing, jumping, playing, and I believe his robe came off. But this is 6 and 20 in the NIV. It says, when David returned home to bless his household, Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet him and said, how the king of Israel has distinguished himself today, going around half naked and full view of the slave girls of his servants, as any vulgar fellow would. So she kind of like, it was a glorious day, huh, king? You made yourself look like a fool. You was out there dancing half naked so all the little slave girls could see. Tell me that don't sound like classic Eve. Oh, it was a glorious day, huh? Right? You know, verse 21, it says, let me go back. NIV, it says, David said to Michal, it was before the Lord who chose me rather than your father or anyone from his house when he appointed me ruler over the Lord's people. I will celebrate before the Lord. So you're like, man, you worried about the wrong thing. I was literally turning up for the Lord. I was literally trying to serve the Lord, praise the Lord. That's all it was. Verse 22 says, and this is in the NIV. It says, I will become even more undignified than this, and I will be humiliated in my own eyes, but by these slave girls you spoke of, I will be held in honor. So in his own eyes, he's going to abase himself and make himself low because he's going to praise the Lord. He's going to exalt the Lord. And while you sitting, you're supposed to be my rib, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, but you got a nasty spirit on you right now. You worried about these handmaids, these slave women? When I'm trying to serve the Lord, he was like, you know what's crazy? My own wife is despising me and looking down on me, but all of the rest of the kingdom, they're going to be happy for me. They're going to honor me. They're going to praise me even more. And the last verse of the chapter says, and of course, I'm reading this in the NIV, like I said. It says, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no children to the day of her death. And because she got out of line like that, she didn't understand her place as a woman, her role as a woman. She overstepped her boundaries. Not only is she talking to a man,
Mm.
her Lord, she's talking to King David, the man who was after the Most High God's heart. I said, okay, cool. Just for that, just for getting out of her body like that, stepping over her boundary, not knowing where the line was, you're not gonna have no kids.
Damn, that hurt.
You're not gonna have
That
no
hurt.
kids. And you gotta understand, having a kid is the main thing that a woman, that's the main thing on her mind. She wants to have a child for her husband to carry on the lineage of him. She really want to have his son. That's literally what it's about. All right. Mona's lot. It's like my eyes bad. Mona's lot. Hey, you made a good point. This is in the scriptures. It says, your biggest foe dwell in your own home. Right? That's in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Said a man's foe shall be them of his own household. And if you a woman, this is the main goal for you not to do. You want to make sure you are not an enemy to your husband. You're supposed to be his peace, his rest. What you got out run?
Fuck it. All right. Con, you're supposed to be his peace, you're supposed to be his rest. Let's get back to the Sirach 26.
Kyle, let's get it, man.
Con. I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, a drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Ladies, 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 ladies. It's not attractive, you just being out drunk all the damn time. It's not attractive. It's not good. It's not good at all. I'm gonna be honest. Because you kind of sitting there tipping over, fumbling and rumbling and talking and saying shit. And then you throw up, you kind of feel bad and you throw up some more. It's not attractive. Men do not get down with that. Men I know, men of the Lord do not get down with that. Am I saying you can't have a drink? No, I'm not saying that. You can have a drink. You can sit there and sip. If your Lord allows it, you can sit there, sip on something. But you stepping out and getting in your cup every night,
Every weekend.
and you kind of, I only allow or prefer my wife to get drunk within my household, like at home. You don't get drunk outside. You don't get drunk at somebody else's. We don't do that. That's not how we get down. If I sip on something, I can handle it to a certain extent when I'm around my boys. If not, I know my boys got me. I'm not finna do nothing weird or stupid anyway. But my woman, like you just said, she will not cover her own shame. She's going to start being weird. She's going to start doing stuff. It's going to turn into folly and foolishness. And like the verse above it, it says she's caused great anger.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that anger being bestowed upon? Her husband. Because now he's over there looking at her and he's like, this is a goddamn shame. This is supposed to be my wife.
It's embarrassing.
This is embarrassing. She's supposed to mirror me. She represents my household. She represents me. And she's out here like this. She's doing this. She's throwing up every goddamn word. It's not good. Not good at all. It says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. This is funny. A whoredom of a woman, everybody will know. Well, damn, I can't even say that now. I was going to say you'll know a whore or a harlot when you see one. We can't tell nowadays.
It's up in the air.
It's just up in the air.
Hey, you got to prove her and shit.
You got to prove her now. It's up in the air. It's not like, because they all look the same. All the women idolize harlots. So guess what? They dress like harlots. Guess what? They act like harlots. And then till what? They become harlots. We don't know no more. We don't understand no more. Go ahead.
Salakia, I ain't meant to do that. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Good.
If I may. So a woman will sit there and literally have the attire of a harlot. Her lock screen on her iPhone is a harlot. Her favorite musician is a harlot. Her mom is a harlot, but she makes the claim and say, I'm not a harlot.
She trying to convince you.
I'm not a harlot. You know, I'm not a hoe. It's hard for me to believe that. The things that you into is stuff that harlots are into. She got the long nails and they reach out here. Look, they reach out here. Nails reach out here.
Right.
Hey, look, she type on her phone. All you hear is the nails clacking the screen. That's gross. Oh,
He
don't
said
get me
that's
started.
gross.
The eyelashes. You blink 3 times real hard, and the person you talk to fly out the window. That's a joke. You can laugh, but I got a preset.
Kind of got one too
Watch
after
this.
you.
Proverbs 6:25. It says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, the man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. So the point I was harping on is her eyelids. Everyone has an attire. Righteous men, righteous women, harlots, firemen, police officers, musicians, everyone, everyone has an attire. And when we looking at a woman, 9 times out of 10, all of the harlots, they have the long eyelashes, the drawn on eyebrows, maybe or may not have a lot of makeup on. She's very revealing. She's loud and clamorous. She got on the Uggs flip-flop slippers. You know the ones I'm talking about, like,
Yes.
and they got the fur on them, the little chinchilla. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's hard to come back from that. You literally got to change because the Bible is telling me you a harlot. It's like, am I going? It's not looking good. And look,
Good.
one more point. I'm just shocked. I'm telling you right now, men do not like that.
Mm-mm.
If your whole thing is to get a husband or you're looking for a husband, even if you're not, or let's say she's one of them girls say, I do this for myself. Okay, that's cool and all. But if you're looking for a husband, you should be getting ready for that. Your mind should already be right there in that mentality. So it's on you.
I'm gonna tell
He
you this
said,
right now.
God.
I'm not a harlot. That's funny. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Damn.
Salakia. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Come on,
Bro,
bro,
where was you at?
okay, I bring out Proverbs 6:25.
Let's
Everyone
go
has
in there towards
a
the ladder.
okay. Everyone
Oh,
has.
okay. No. Okay, cool. I got it.
Bring that out.
You can easily get a husband dressed like that.
Mm.
You can technically easily get a husband dressed like a harlot, looking like a harlot, acting like a harlot. 100%. But guess what? That's not gonna be the man you want. And you're gonna be stuck with him.
Let me cut him.
He said, let me cut him, Mike. Go
Let me
ahead.
cut him. I can easily get multiple wives by acting like a mighty man,
Yeah.
or by acting like I'm the man. My chest
Yeah.
kind of poked out. I got the grill in, the chains on, fresh retwist, watch, fitted. I'm like, yo, Shalom.
Right.
And I thought,
Right.
but the women that fall for that, it's not going to be a virtuous woman.
She already fell.
She already done. She
She already
finished.
done. Yeah. So it's easy. It's easy for you to get a man that's dressed, dressing like a harlot, doing all these harlotry things, because guess what? He thinks you're a harlot. It's easy. That's what he thinks. It's easy. Don't I see that every day in my head? I see a woman. I'm like, damn, she easy. That's what go through my head. Damn, she easy to get. And I'm cool.
Bro, me and Ahran, we think a lot alike. We think a lot alike. Can you say what you said one more time, Bobby Gashaw?
When I see a woman that's easy, I'm cool on that. I'm all right on that.
And when we see women dressed like that and moving like that, really it's the most high. He gave us eyes to see. If I really wanted that woman, I feel like 100% I could have her.
Mm-hmm.
I already know what to do. I already know the kind of things she's into and what she's looking for, worldly things.
Mm-hmm.
Start promising you, start speaking to you smooth things. Easy. She's easy. But getting a virtuous, righteous, a chaste daughter of Zion, you can't just roll up on them.
That's hard to
Hey,
get.
hey, my rib, I remember I was interested in her for a while, but I couldn't speak to her because her father's in the truth. I couldn't say anything to her. There was nothing I could say. The way I ended up getting her or her being my wife was her dad was like, "Hey, you interested in my daughter?" I was like, "The water, man, for real. This is a blessing because I can't approach her and be like, yo, shalom, sis, what's good?
No,
Shabbat shalom. No, the line is right there. What do I? What can I say to her? Anything I would have said to her, it wouldn't even have hit anyway. You can see that a mile away.
mm-hmm.
You can tell. And you know what I did? I was patient. I didn't say nothing to her. The only thing I did or could do, I remember we was walking to or from camp. We was in OKC, and like you don't want the girls to just carry all of the chairs and stuff. I'm like, you want me to grab that? That's all I could do. That's the
Them
only.
niggas seem righteous.
That's all I could do. I was like, I remember it was like, hey, who can grab the chair? I was like, I got you, slid in there. That's all I couldn't speak to her. It was off
He
limits.
said slid in there.
It was off limits. It's a joke now, but that's some real stuff, and that's how it's
Right.
supposed to be. It's in order where I had to go through her father, and that's a beautiful, beautiful experience that I had, and it's so biblical. I want everybody to experience something like that. It's righteous,
God,
bro. No sneaking and geeking. What is them little sneaky links? None of
this nigga
those.
said sneaky links.
You never heard of that?
Bro, come on, man.
Yeah, you
Hell
haven't.
no,
Bro.
I
It's
ain't heard of that.
like you. Yeah,
He's about
you
to
are
steal the
brother.
world.
Right. It's like you.
Huh?
Forgive me. Pray for me.
He said,
Pray,
forgive me.
pray, pray, pray.
But
Where was we? We was at the attire of a woman. So like, yeah, we
yeah,
kind of getting off subject a little bit, but yeah,
God,
there's a few more
just
things in Cyrac I wanted to go to.
God. On this sorry 26, right?
Hmm.
Or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was yeah, all right. All right. Um verse 10. Sorry, 26 and 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. We spoke on this earlier. If I see a girl's parents, say I'm interested in this girl, and I see her parents, and I see her mother is on folly, and she's doing whatever she wants to do. She's doing this, that, and the third, and it's just out of order. I'm gonna think two things: either the father is not in the life, or the father does not care. If her mother acts like that, she'll act like that. And hold on. Let me grab this precept. Proverbs 13:20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. It's just going back to that worldly proverb. Walk like a duck, talk like a duck. It's not even that. Birds of a feather flock
Flock
together.
together.
And that is what it is. But like it said, if you have a daughter, keep her in straightly. Hold her tight. Don't let her go out and get too much freedom. She gets too much freedom, she's going to be in utter wickedness. Ultimately, until the Most High God destroys her. Chiefly, that's the only way it worked. So you don't want to be this woman that's just out here moving and trying to do your own things and trying to be independent and try to do this, that, and the third, because you're not going to go in the right direction. I'm going to just let you know that right now. You're not going to go in the right direction. I've had multiple women tell me, well, damn, I shouldn't have did this and I shouldn't have did that. And I shouldn't, well, I said, why? Well, hell, after I left my parents, I did this. I did that. Or after I moved out, or I see, no, 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 no. That is what it is. And this precept is actually going in for the men. If the men have daughters, if I was scared as hell to have a daughter, I'm not gonna lie. When my firstborn came in, I was hoping and praying that it was a boy. Not luckily, thankfully, the Wadi Highway was a boy. But if I was to have a girl, I wouldn't. I wouldn't know how to handle it. But if I did have a girl, I would have to keep her in straightly. I would have to keep her close to me. That way I can guide her. Because if I let her go out and do whatever the hell she want to do, then she's going to do exactly that. Whatever the hell she wants to do. She's not going to pay no mind to me. She's not going to pay no mind to her mother. She's not going to pay no mind to anybody else, but exactly what she wants. And that's what's going on in Babylon today, here in America. A girl just wants to do whatever. It's something called I think it's something with women. They want to free their sexuality or some shit like that. It's my body. I can do what I want with my body. But then when they catch something that they can't get rid of, why, God? Why did you do this to me? Why am I like this? And why is it? Well, did you ever think to, you know, stop doing what you was doing? It always revert back to God when it's something bad happening. But whenever you want to do what the hell you want to do, nobody cares. Nobody mentions the Most High God. But when you catch something, God, if you get this off me, I'll do this, that, and the third. God, why did you do me like this? I didn't do nothing wrong. You've been a damn harlot since you've been growing up. You've been an adulteress. You've been an adulterer. You've been doing all manners of foolishness and folly. All manners of wickedness. And now when shit hit the fan, it's time to blame God or call on God.
Right.
And that's not how it works. That's just not how it works at all, man. That's BS if you ask me. You got something like
No, I ain't got that.
con. Sorry, 26 and verse 11. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a damn. When he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her, by every head she will sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Every time I read this, my mind goes into something as dirty. It's just dirty. I don't like it. It's just dirty. Opening the arrow to every quiver. If you got an active imagination, you can picture what's going on. She sit down, drink of every water that come by. She don't even care. She's just drinking out of it. She's doing what she want to do. That's just folly, man. I am the first Creole that loves my people of color. Shalom, we doing good. Tawada for tapping in. and Twain Smith. Salaki if I mispronounced that. Shalom or Aquath. Um, Kaio. Salaki if I mispronounced that. Shalom. Back to you. You want to touch on something on that?
Man, it's this classic precept, the bar always pulling, and it says, she wipe her mouth and say she has done nothing or done no wrong. But I can't find it right now.
Bro, that make man.
Wow.
All right. That makes me think of some nasty stuff, and it's just like it
Yeah, that's
irritates and vexes
exactly,
me, bro.
bro, the
I
Bible.
know.
Yeah.
It vexes me. It vexes me to my spirit, man.
Yeah. That's the spirit that's going around.
That's the
Hey,
bro.
this is
Salakia,
talk about it.
Salakia,
Talk about it. Talk
Salakia.
about it. I'm gonna try and remember my point.
Please write it down if you have to.
All
But
right, let me
that
try.
is the spirit that's going around today. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep with no responsibility. That's why they're trying to push this damn abortion stuff. They're trying to push this and push that. You can sleep with whoever you want to, fuck the consequences, and go sleep with the next person. I hate that. Just because I'm gonna touch on men now. Just because men can have multiple wives does not mean that every man is able to have another wife. That doesn't mean go around sleeping with every single woman. And then when you get two or three of them pregnant, don't run now. You got some
Right.
responsibility. You a pappy now, nigga. You got some responsibility. Go ahead.
If he don't provide for his household, he is worse than an infidel, a
Mm,
non-believer. You're worse than that, right?
you worse than that, man. We live in a damn lawless, carefree society. Everything is carelessness until something happens to you. It's always good and it's always fun to go out here and do what the hell you want to do until something happens to you. Until you run into the person that's doing whatever the hell they want to do. You get your heart broke. You either get shot, killed, because guess what? He just doing whatever he wanted to do, or she just doing whatever the hell she wanted to do. We can't do whatever we want to do. That's not how it works. That's not, it's not, it's not righteous. You're not justified in that. It's not how any of this works. The Most High God doesn't get down with any of this. What you sow is what you reap. In Second Ezra, it says that the Most High God likens his judgment unto a ring. Everybody knows a ring is. It's a circle. What goes around comes around. Whatever the hell you was going out there sowing, that's what the hell you gonna reap. If I sow hatred, I'm gonna reap hatred. If I sow adultery, I'm gonna reap adultery. And this Most High is so perfect in His judgment. That's what the Most High God is known by. That's what the Scripture said. The Most High God is known by His judgment. He's so perfect and He's so amazing. He will destroy you. We brought this out earlier. He will destroy you by what you idolize and what you do. He will destroy you with that. You know, when King Cyrus went against the Egyptians believed in cats and kittens and dogs and shit. So guess what King Cyrus did in his wisdom? On his shields, he put cats and dogs. And they had cats and dogs run out there in the field with them. And the Egyptians surrendered because it was foolishness. It was folly. It was vanity. The Most High God destroyed them with what they loved. Man, oh my God. We
Hey, the
we, we
Lord,
serve an awesome God.
that we serve an awesome God.
We serve an awesome
Ah,
God, man.
hey, the realness of our God, where He will mock you, laugh at you, scorn you to death in your face, make you bethink yourself, make you consider, like, oh man, man, I can't believe I did all of that for so long. But there's a few things I kind of wrote down.
That man got the
I'm
card
so
out.
serious. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't remember. So it says, women do not value themselves. This is something that we shouldn't have to talk about.
Mm-mm.
This is something. This is actually grievous to talk about. I have to tell women to value themselves more,
Right.
to value themselves more. That's something I have to do. Hey man, carry yourself differently. Don't do that. You worth more than that. It's beautiful, but it's grievous because this should not be something I have to tell y'all. But the harsh truth is, I do. And this is something I like
Hold on, like you can't just do that.
Wait. What? What did I say?
Nigga said the arch is I do. That was
God.
hilarious. Go ahead, Axel.
Hey, y'all know we young, man. We crack jokes. It's a beautiful time, man. We're rolling on 2 hours, man. So we kind of just spitting, you know. So like, yeah, I don't want to offend y'all, but when it comes to the truth, people get offended, especially if they not keeping the law, statute, commandments. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought my AirPods died. So boom. The harsh truth is, I do have to remind my sisters that they work more. I want to paint a scenario I heard from the deacon, and this actually hit my spirit a lot. He said, "This is how you know that women don't value themselves anymore." He was like, "If you ask," and I'm kind of adding my own little sauce to it, but he's using the same similitude or scenario. If you ask 50 men, or excuse me, 50 women, would you give a man money? The majority, if not, I would say like at least 80% of the women are going to say, no, I will not give a man my money. But you ask them women, the same man you wouldn't give that money to, would you give them your body? Would you lay with them? Would you have sex with them? And they're in that position where they want to say, no, I wouldn't like, but the truth and the reality is she would give up her cookies, right? She would
Cookies.
give up her cookies before she gives that man money. What does that tell me? Something that she didn't even realize herself. She places more value in paper and money than herself. Money is more valuable than her. Subconsciously, she not even knowing that that's what she's saying, but that's what she's saying. Her actions is telling you money is more important than my body. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because women don't value themselves. We should never have to tell women to wear dresses. That wouldn't be a thing if they valued themselves. You see how I'm going? Like, we shouldn't have to tell you to do that.
Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have to tell you, don't go outside, half naked. Don't don't come outside without a bra on, you know. Don't 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 go outside with this much of your ass hanging out your shorts. That's not our job to tell. It is our job to like you, but we shouldn't have to tell you that. You should have to you know, respect yourself, love yourself.
There it
You
is.
know, you're supposed to want to do to have more, like you said, value yourself on a higher level. The same women that do that are the same women that think they're high value.
Oh my goodness, don't get us started.
They're the same women that believe that they're gold. Bitch, you're copper. You're copper. You're not gold. Go ahead, Doc.
So this is ladies' night, and we're trying to build women up and righteousness. We're trying to raise the standard of our people, because right now the standard is down here. A high value woman is like the standard is down here. When the high value woman standard should be way over. So we're raising the standard of our right now. A high value woman is a bad bitch, hot girl summer. Her nails is on fleek, and her eyelashes. She got the little extension. She on point. She got a BMW. That's a high value woman. She's a go getter. She's a high. No, we're raising the standard. That's not a high value woman. That's the opposite of that. A high value woman is way different. A high value woman values herself more than materialistic things and money. A high value woman fears God and keeps commandments, period. Period. You can't really be a high value woman without fearing God. But tonight is about the ladies. And before you can even get in a marriage and love someone, learn how to love yourself. Learn how to value yourself. Understand your value and what you bring to the table, or what you need to bring to the table. Can you give me it's a precept that I forgot it. It's a good precept though. Maybe I wrote it down. Can you give me Sirach 14 and 5? Well, I'll see if I wrote this down somewhere.
This is Sirach chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
Look at
He
that.
shall not take pleasure in his goods.
Look, young ladies, if you are evil to yourself, you don't know how to love yourself, you don't know the value that you have, you don't know your role, your position, how can you do good to your husband, to your potential husband, or your husband that you already have already? If you don't know how to do good to yourself, who can you do good to yourself? And I'm equating that with this worldly proverb. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love nobody else. Loving yourself is equivalent with valuing yourself. That's the premise I'm building. You have to know your own value. You have to be real with yourself. A lot of times, women don't really know what they're capable of and where their real strength resides. And even more, you see women thinking that they're more valuable than what they really are. You got women really thinking they are more than what they are. Like, hold on, take it down a few notches, because you're not a high value woman. You're not. You're not. All you do is eat hot Cheetos on Wi-Fi, scroll on Facebook. You're a stripper. You have 3 kids by 3 different men. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
You know what's crazy? Women actually prostitute themselves for food. They got that one man, they got that one dude that always buy food for them.
Bring that Chick-fil-A, huh?
Yeah, bring that food, that Chick-fil-A. He come through and he bring me. I keep him in my pocket because he bring me food, and I give him the cookies every now and then. You prostituting yourself for food. You know that, like.
That's a sin. Thou shalt not make a whore of the daughters of Zion.
Right. Now, we had a person come in and ask us what exactly is Ladies' Night. Ladies' Night, we're going on various topics about womenly roles, giving counsel from the Bible, just giving some counsel. We're not bashing our Israelite women. We're bashing the worldly women and the ideology behind that. We're bashing that image, that Babylonian image of a woman, of a great woman. We're trying to tear that down. We hate that image. We're disgusted with that image. We don't like that image because we always talk about, men, and we always talking to men and what men should do and what, this, that, and the third. But tonight we talking about women.
Con.
We talking about the ladies. We giving you some do's and don'ts. We already told you the caveat. If you got a husband at home, that's the chief word you need to be listening to.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? Don't take our word and be like, well, Aharon and Mahar said this, and you saying that to your husband. Hell no. Don't
Keep
do
me
that.
out of it.
Leave me out of it. I don't equate nothing to your husband. I equate nothing to your husband. That's your husband. That's what you got to understand. You already brought out the classics. You're supposed to look at him as Christ, right? But like we're talking about, we're going into these worldly women, these women that destroy men's lives and souls and
Straight.
conquer, on a spiritual level. Women do that. Scriptures say, look not on the beauty of a woman. Just look not on the beauty of a woman. That's why I said, because today's standard of beauty is that harlot look. It's that harlot look. So I don't look on that. I despise that. Not saying if I see a beautiful girl, I'm like, oh, hell no. No, I'm just saying if she looks easy, I'm okay. I'm disappearing from that. Because if she's easy to me, she's easy to my heart. If she's easy to access to my heart, she's easy to access to this dude, this brother over here, this brother over here, that brother over there. She's easy. Easy. I don't
Don't
want
be
someone
what
easy.
we telling y'all. Don't be that sister.
Yeah, don't
Don't
be
act.
her. Do not be easy. Don't be easily accessible.
We're not
We're
saying
telling,
be mean. We're not saying be stuck up. We're not saying we're not saying be that.
yeah, don't be an asshole. We just saying, just keep your cookies in the jar.
I'm in the
You know what
jar.
I'm saying? Keep the cookies in the jar and wait on the Lord to give you a righteous man. Don't go looking for a righteous man. Wait on the Lord to give. You'll know when the time is right. The Most High God will present it perfectly. But if you go out and you starting to look for a man and you trying to do this and do that and you forcing it, you get a husband.
Mhm.
You get what you want, but it ain't what you want. You get what you want in the aspect of you get a husband, yeah. Will you get a righteous husband? Chance of that, maybe. You know, it's shaky. It's really shaky. It's a lot of brothers going around here saying they righteous. A lot of brothers going around here saying they martyrs for Yahushua's sake. A lot of brothers going around here saying this, that, and the third. You always you want to prove. You want to prove that man. Make sure that man is right for you. He may be a just man. He may be right, but is he right for you?
Con.
Like he may in the Most High God's eyes, he may be perfect. He may be perfect. It's many a men that can be perfect in the Most High God's eyes, but is he a perfect fit for you though? That's the difference. Is he a perfect fit for you? Just because you're righteous don't mean that you know how to deal with women. Just because you're perfect don't mean you know how to deal with women. I can be perfect and not know how to approach and talk to a woman. Not saying I am perfect. I mean, not saying that. I'm just saying I could be perfect and not know how to speak anything to this woman or to this lady. So find the perfect fit for you, and he has to be righteous, not appear righteous, not seem righteous, not be righteous because he said so. He got to be a righteous brother. His works and his actions will show it all. It'll show it. You want to get to know his friends. You want to talk to his friends. See what his friends is about. Are
Hey,
these
you don't
guys
even gotta
assholes?
talk to him. You can just watch him.
Yeah. Observe. Are these guys assholes? Do they always act like this? Or it could be the flip. Damn, do they always act like this? They kind of they putting in the work. They actually moving in the spirit. They move. This brother is real charitable. I like that. This brother is real nice. So on and so forth. Sisters, you gotta look for that. You don't want to go looking for the nigga with the chain, he got the earrings in, he got the grill, and he kind of just like, yeah, bro, I shoot niggas for a living. That's what women want nowadays. They want the
I go
nigga that
hard.
shoot niggas for a living. Yeah, I
The
go
niggas who
hard.
say I go hard.
Right,
I'm hard.
I'm that nigga.
Lord willing, that's not even a thought in y'all sisters' head. That's a lot. That's a lot
No,
of
no,
work.
not these sisters. These sisters that's on here, Lord willing, y'all sisters is righteous. I got good hope in y'all.
Right.
But if you do have a friend or a sister that's like that, you know what to bring to her. You know exactly what to bring to her. You can tell her, look, Aqua, you don't want to be dealing with this nigga. Look at his actions, look at his works. This nigga don't do nothing. This vanity. It's not gonna lead him nowhere. So on and so, you can counsel your sister with the counsel that you get from her. Because like I said, I got good hope in the sister that's in here is moving in the steps of our foremothers.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? You got Sarah, you got Rebecca, you got who else? You got Judith, you got Esther, you got many a righteous sister. Let me grab one. Give me Philippians 4:3.
kind of got you.
It's many a
Yeah.
righteous sisters. Even one,
Philippians.
if it's even a sister that Peter had rose from the dead because she had good works with quilts and fabrics and she was a mastery with all that. But go ahead,
That's a valuable woman right there.
that's a valuable woman.
Philippians 4:3. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellows, excuse me, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the book of life.
You had women that helped labored with Paul in the gospel. Does that mean that they was on the line saying, "Bring it out, brother"? No, that's not. No. Does that mean they was disputing with Paul in the synagogues and the Pharisees and they in there? Hell no, brother. That's Deuteronomy. Yahweh shine Deuteronomy 18:18. Are they in there disputing like that? No, no. They helping Paul stay in the spirit though. Paul may be looking at their works and like, damn, I gotta increase in my works. I gotta go hard because this sister going hard. She look, she's mighty. She's mighty. That's why my hope is good in the sisters in here. Lord willing, y'all doing the works of our righteous foremothers. Like I said, you helping brothers push the gospel.
Uh,
You got something like,
yeah. I'm gonna grab this and it's all right. So it's a it's a whole bunch of ways to make yourself more valuable. There's a whole bunch of ways to make yourself more valuable. More valuable for the most I got. Someone who's more valuable for the most I got is someone who does more work. Just like a regular job and a regular hired person on the gig. Dang, this man is working 60 hours a week. He's valuable. Let's give him a raise. You want to make sure, Shalom, you want to make sure that you're being a high value woman. So when you do get a husband, you'll be more of an asset than a liability, where you actually bring something to the table. Nowadays, women bring nothing to the table. Says like the woman, how, like the woman, how did for Yahusha for his burial? Joppa. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Lahama, Acts 9:36, it says, now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds, which she did. That's valuable. She was full of good works. She put in her hands, what does it say in Proverbs 31, to the spindle? She working with her hands. She waking up early. She's sewing. She putting food on the table for the like boom, boom, boom. She know how to. She buying this field. She's planting this. Look, you don't have to necessarily be good at sewing or cook. Look, it's a lot of work to be done on the spiritual level and on the physical level. It's work to be done. And that's one thing men are starting to find out what they're good at in the truth. I can do this. I can help this way. I'm not good at teaching, but I can help this way. I can do this. Women, it's time for y'all to start putting the pieces, putting y'all pieces to the puzzle down. I'm not good at this necessarily. I know I'm good at this. This is easy for me to do. I've been like this from my birth. It's always been easy for me to help out where I could, give an extra hand, like the sister Tabitha, alms deeds, charitable. She was loving. She was kind. She was pleasant. That's how the sisters need to make themselves more valuable. Because you don't want to show up to a marriage and not bring anything to the table, not have anything to offer. Why would he want to? Why would he want to bring you to his house? No girl is that pretty to add to my house and just get by off looks.
Hell no. Oh, hell no.
In the world, that was you could get by with that. But in the truth, the standard has been raised. These men ain't looking for pretty women who just got long hair no more. With a nasty attitude, who never cooks. Hey, this is game. Soak this up. The way to that man's heart is through his stomach. Listen to that. That's heavy. Aaron, have you ever been mad and full?
Hell
It's
no.
shaky. It's shaky. I can't think of a time. Look, add that to your repertoire. If you don't know how to cook, get through there, learn recipes. That's your office. This is Sirach 22:4. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband. I think y'all, I don't know if everybody caught that. It says a wise daughter, a wise woman. She's gonna bring an inheritance to her husband. She's gonna show up with something in her hand, not empty-handed.
Mm-mm.
That's how she's gonna show up. That's wisdom. That's wise for her to show up and add something to her, bring something to the household, bring something to the house. What are you good at? You can't just be out here in a head wrap and just skipping by.
Right.
You can't be like that. That's not enough. It says, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness. Right. But the main part is a wise daughter will bring an inheritance to her husband. A lot of people got it confused. Hey, real quick, this made me think of something I wanted to touch on earlier. A lot of times women are like, if you ever even consider one of the scapegoats for women on why you shouldn't be um, into polygyny is because, well, nigga, can you take care of all of us? Can you pay all the bills? Can you pay for all the food? Can you do all of this? Well, look, that's a misconception. The women that our forefathers had, they worked.
Oh, I'm gonna get that.
Kind of bring it out. It's on you.
This is Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. A lot of people will skip past that. Women, I'm gonna help you out here. Um, when you're dealing with spoil, when you're dealing with war, men would go to war, take over the land, kill men, kill children, but they would also take things. They would take spoil. Here's the thing: women are considered spoils of war. I'll let you know that now. Men would take the women, bring them back if they see something that they like. They, see how she act, whatever. They would take her, and she would become a servant. Now, it says, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. If he feels that everything is completely good with what he got going, say this brother has two wives. He's like, shit, I don't, I'm cool. I don't need to add another one onto my house. I'm okay right now. I don't really want her. I don't. She's not. She's gonna be a liability if I
Right.
add her. My women are already handling things in order perfectly. This is just gonna mess shit up. I'm okay.
Literally.
So, if you a virtuous woman, that will go through a man's head. He doesn't have no need of spoil. Verse 12, she will
Hey, real
do
quick,
him good.
if
Go
if
ahead.
I may, if I may, I want to throw a precept on what you said. Women are spoiled. This is Deuteronomy 20 and 13. Deuteronomy 20 and 13 says, "And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it into thy hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword." So we would kill all the men. It says, "But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee." Just showing you, you these women are spoils of war. Just to prove. But it's on you.
Time. Time. Proverbs 31 and 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. I want to touch on that. It don't say that she gonna do that nigga good sometimes. It don't say she gonna do him good
Oh.
in the beginning. It don't say
Oh.
that she's gonna do him good when she feels like it. It don't
Mm-hmm.
say she's gonna do him good you know, in the honeymoon phase. No, it says she will do him good all the days of her life.
God.
Remember that. Keep that in mind. Pocket that one. It says, it says, she seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. It says, she riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth the field, and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. All of this is going into her working. This is going into her laboring, bringing forth, adding unto a man, adding to her household, doubling her husband's life,
God.
being his if he can't handle a certain amount of workload, that's what a helpmeet is for. She's there to help. It says like a aid, like unto himself. She's there to help him to where we can get it done together. You know, all of this is going into work. It says that she buyeth the field and planteth a vineyard. It says she girdeth her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold to the distaff. That's her laboring. Just like Mahar
God.
brought out. If this nigga can't take care of me, if this nigga can't buy this, if this nigga can't buy that, if he can't do this, that, and the third.
What are you doing?
Right. What are you bringing to the You're sitting at home, you don't cook, you don't clean. It's literally a Cardi B song, actually, now that I think about it. I don't cook, I don't clean. She literally says that. And I think she mentioned something sexual, and that's like all that she can get away with. Like,
That's all you get at. That's all you can do. Every woman in the world got that. I mean, you're not high value because of that. Every woman can. Every woman has a secret part. I'm saying
right.
if that's all you bring to the table, it's shaky, and the
I'm
world
gonna
is cool, and the truth is a no go.
I'm gonna find the lyrics. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. The beginning of the song is there's some whores in this house. That's the beginning of the song. There's some whores in this house. Hold on. I don't cook. I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. That's today's standard. This is what's going on in today's society. This is what vexes the hell out of me. And when I think about that, she don't cook, she don't clean, she ain't working, she don't do none of this, she don't do none of that. But the man gotta do everything. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. You gotta be the rock of that house. You gotta go out there and teach, you gotta study, you gotta go out there and put your life on the line. You gotta be a warrior for the Most High God. Then they gotta come home and cook and clean too. Well, god damn.
I don't need a woman then.
I might as well be by myself. You taking up space. It's time for me to optimize space. I'm a technology guy. I'm gonna optimize.
You'll start formatting, deleting stuff,
Right.
making.
I'm gonna start deleting. It's as simple as that. Thought I want to drop something. Jeremiah 31:22, it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that's what it is. These women compassing men, being over men, taking over men, women actually wearing the pants in a relationship, women just is all out wickedness. Why though? Because the men allow it. Men are weak. Grab me second Ezra 10:22.
Let's say less.
Second Ezra 10:22. Our men are weak. I'm gonna just call it what it is, man.
Second Ezra
What
10
that
and 22.
Yeah, hold on. What that one dude, the elder say, we ain't them friendly brews, man.
We ain't friendly bros, man.
Ain't them friendly brews, man.
Hey, can I add to your statement? You said, I'm gonna call it how I see it. Men are weak. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? Why men are weak? It's because we neglected our power.
Mm-hmm.
Our power is the most high God. We neglected it. We neglected our God. That's how we became weak. Um, Second Ezra 10 and 22. You ready?
Go ahead.
Our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled. And the name that is called upon us is almost profaned. Our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivity. Our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away. Our little ones destroyed. Our young men are brought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak.
And our strong men are become weak. It says our virgins are defiled, our women ravished, our young men gone into captivity, our strong men are weak. And that's what it is. We allow it, you know. Well, damn, babe, I guess you're right. I guess you can do this. You can do that if you want to do it. Well, I'll just leave you alone. Jake weak, man. Jake becoming weak. Not even becoming weak. Jake was already weak. Not from the start when Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was walking around here. No, them was men of the Lord. When David was walking around, it was real men.
Hey, them mighty men of David.
Come on now.
Hey, one of them men went down there and fought a lion in the snow. Hey, one of the men slew 800 people with his own by himself. Hey, another one of the men went and plucked another man's spear out of his hand with a staff and killed him with his own spear. Hey, another man fought 300 people by himself and went and arrested the army because the army, our people ran off because they were scared. One of David's chief men held it down, killed like 300 people by itself. When they came back, all they had to do was grab the spoil. These are kind of mighty men, you know. But we not built like that right now. We're not ready for that right now. Well, you finna grab something? You looking for something hot? Hey, Javon Collins. Uh, it's a blessing to be a part of this con, man. Back at you. Zion said, Sarah 7:25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her time and understand and come. And that's why you say I love what y'all guys are doing. Con, all praises, man. The water for being here with us, tuning in. Kind of long-winded tonight, but Lord willing, it's beautiful. Oh, let's see, pull back up. Let's see if I can get him back in here. What happened?
My iPad had lost Wi-Fi connection. It's all good doing back in this thing.
Zion, that's a beautiful precept, though. You want to give her to a man of understanding. That's why it's good. Sometimes what you want is not best for you. And the best person to understand that is your father, your head. And he's going to be like, okay, I know that you like this man, but that doesn't mean he's good for you. I'm going to give you to this man. This man has understanding. He knows to fear God and keep the commandments. Boom. You know, it's good to have a head. You know, that's why having overseeing a camp overseeing, like if you if you're a sincere sister, just kind of placing yourself meekly placing yourself in the camp in subjection over a wise man, and he kind of look out for you and make sure you're okay. That's a beautiful thing because you don't want to be out here by yourself looking for a husband. Men out here, they slide in your DM saying "Shalom, sis," and you know things getting sketchy, right? We gotta be it far from me. We can't fall out like this. But I kind of was gonna ask, open it up for a few questions. I think I'm kind of running out of spirit though. How you feeling?
Go ahead.
All right. So if there's any questions, we'll try to answer it. Any sincere questions, we'll try and deal with. No folly. Um, primarily want to focus on the topic tonight, ladies' night. You know, questions. We're not gonna deal with you and your husband, but if it's something like you, if it's a sincere question, we'll try and answer. Cause I ain't in the spirit, man. But
Right.
it might right here in the spirit. He said, I ain't know that precept. The most I had me stumble on it. Con, man. Man, a lot of everybody that tuned in, man. It was a beautiful night. Kicking it off right. Lord willing, y'all prepared y'all some food. Ooh, just rest up, man. Rest up. Get ready for another week here in Babylon. It's a good time to just, what's that called? Detox spiritually. Detox yourself, cleanse yourself from the world, isolate yourself away from everybody, and just rest up and get ready for another long week. Get your spirit back right, examine yourself, pray to the Most High God, pray to the Most High God, pray to the Most High God. Hey, thank the Most High God. Hey, this is a good time just to blow the trumpet, praise Him, shout for joy, dance, you know, get lit for the Most High God, man. It's the Sabbath, the water.
Hey, I got a quick precept
Okay, God.
to what you were saying. You know, sisters, if you sincere, you know, kind of put yourself under a wise man, you know, not that you got to marry him, but that he can guide you for the time being. This is John 19:26. When Yahushua therefore saw his mother, mind you, Yahushua's finna get put to death. Joseph is no longer with us. It says, when Yahushua therefore saw his mother and the disciple standing by whom he loved, he saith unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then said to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour, that disciple took her unto his home. That disciple took Mary that way he could be her head and actually guide her. Yahushua left this earth with like, giving his mama a head. Like, I'm finna leave. My daddy gone. He looked at the disciple whom he loved. He said, "Behold thy son, behold thy mother." He gave him a head, man. He gave her a head. And that's a beautiful thing.
Done.
That's a beautiful. The disciple took it straight to the house. Beautiful. Go ahead.
Man, you had one more in Corinthians like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
It says, I know it says the word father in it.
You talking about
Um,
begotten of the faith?
yeah.
Let me see.
Let's re-examine that one. I remember it being good when we first looked at it, but
No, it's
if
good.
maybe not for every situation, but it was a good one,
Mm,
man. Javon Collins, you said, I'm trying to get my life straight right now, but the flesh is killing me. How do I get past that? Um, that's pretty broad. It's a broad question. So I kind of got to give you a broad answer. And ultimately, you can't go off by fearing God and keeping his commandments, praying, fasting, and being consistent in those things. That's the only advice I can really give you is like for right now, man. Fear God, keep the commandments. Really just meditate and work on your spirit. Get to know yourself. Things that trigger your flesh. Try and stay like he obviously Aharon had me pull First Thessalonians 5:22, and it says abstain from all appearances of evil. So if you know certain things are harder for you to deal with, try and just stay away from those things as best you can. You said, well, I'm referring to females, kind man. But when you're dealing with females, it's natural for a man to desire a woman. It is off, and it becomes unlawful when you desire a woman that belongs to another man. But if you're one of those men who kind of entertain too many of those thoughts, and you see a woman and you start entertaining it, think of something. Think you. I know one brother said he snapped, and it kind of it triggers, redirects his focus, and he get back to what he was thinking about. I heard other brothers say they use a rubber band. They heard that other times this is probably the most profitable one. You think about the scriptures, you meditate on them, cut yourself up, and you got to actually know them precepts, book, chapter, verse, like the one in Matthew 5, I believe, where it tells you cannot lust after another woman, another man's wife. You need to know that precept, book, chapter, verse, write it down 10 times. Write the whole verse down. This is your salvation we playing with. That's on the line, so don't play with it. Like really get after it. But Haran, you got something.
God, don't set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Um, if you want to abstain from a certain woman or abstain from certain women, then or abstain from certain things like pollutions of the world. One of my problems was social media. When I'm around the camp, I always speak about this. Why? Because on social media, everybody's naked now. So what did I do? I got rid of social media. I didn't like playing with my salvation. That shit wasn't fun. I didn't want to do that. I hated sitting there. Every time I would scroll, I would see something, and I noticed I kind of paused. And it's like, damn, let me get out of that. Let me stop looking. Let me get out of that. And then it was to a point where I was just like, I don't need social media. I'm finna delete this. I don't got Snapchat. I don't got Instagram. I don't got Facebook. I don't got Twitter. I don't got none of that. I had to get rid of that. I'm even contemplating on deleting YouTube because YouTube is starting to allow certain stuff like that. So you don't set yourself up for failure. If you know something that's gonna make you meditate on that, just abstain from it. Just abstain from it.
Lord
Um,
willing, that was helpful. You found it?
Con, Lord willing, yes. All right, Con. First Corinthians 4 in verse 14, it says, I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. For though ye have 10,000 instructors in Christ, yet have ye not many fathers. For in Christ Yahushai I have begotten you through the gospel.
God, so this is a good precept to show you that you have a spiritual father. Like Paul said, hey, I know you got a lot of counselors, a lot of people who kind of teaching the truth, but through the spirit, I kind of begotten you through into the faith. I kind of had a hand in bringing you into the truth. And if it's a woman, if you're a lady, you don't have a husband, it might be wise for you to place yourself under another man's house or jurisdiction to understand what marriage might look like, what order really is like hands-on, Israelite marriage, hands-on, and really allow that man to build you up through the spirit. It'll be beneficial for you, me and a woman, and it'll also be beneficial for that man because ultimately you'll be like an aid unto self. It'll be very beneficial. So um, that's just something to meditate on. Somebody said, "Ties MD, very edifying to me as a male. As a male, struggle a little in my mind, praying and doing push-ups at the same time. Hit about 30 of them. Helps pray all the way until you're done. God, I feel it. Hey, certain things help better for different people, man. And that's why I say examining yourself and understanding yourself. You know what works for you. I don't got nothing else. Do you?
No, sir.
Man, the water for everybody that tuned in. I'm gonna grab Sirach 43 and 30. Did you want to grab that in Corinthians?
Yeah, well. But like always, y'all, the water for tuning in with us,
Hey, God, it
the
was
water for chilling with
a
us.
blessing. We had a blast, man. Hey, this is one of the funnest things for us. Getting in the
Definitely.
scriptures, word. This is literally a blast for us. So, Lord willing, y'all had just as much fun. It's on you.
This is First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Salutations to everybody that tapped in with the officers tonight. Make sure y'all being steadfast, unmovable, abounding in the work of the Lord. There's so much work to be done. So many different causes you can attend to. There's so many different ways to help this body, to push this truth. You can be an example. Make sure your light is shining. Don't be hiding wisdom. Don't be scared to give your all to the truth. Make sure you're examining yourself every day. We do all of this knowing that it's not in vain and that we're gonna receive a reward. So go hard, man. Rock it to the wheels fall off, enduring to the end, strive for the truth until death, man. But Psalm 43 and 30 says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will he far exceed, and when you exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for you can never go far enough. And with that, we'll give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. Like General Hezekiah always say, never forget, death to America. Shalom, wa barak mashpaka. Shalom, barakatam.
Khan, shalom.